Hello, what's up guys, it's your boy Hitsound producer, and today I'm going to teach you how to record yourself in Logic. I mean, a lot of you guys have texted and sent me, reached out, did a lot of stuff to get info about Logic Pro, and luckily for you today I'm going to teach you just the basics on how you can go about starting the journey of recording yourself as a musician, as a producer. If you are new to Logic Pro, you're welcome especially. So without wasting much of your time, make sure you subscribe, click on the like and drop a comment because a lot is coming. So let's get to the video. So the first thing you do is open up your Logic. For me, I use the 10.7.9. I don't know if there are any new updates, but this is the one I use currently, and it's really giving me all the stuffs I need. Before you even start getting the software, you need to make sure that your sound card, your microphone and your headset are intact. For those of you that are just starting off, you can use the USB microphone. You don't really need to get the whole touch stuff to begin, because production is all about upgrades and growth. So if you're a beginner, you don't have any equipment, I will advise you get a USB BM800 or maybe a very easy, quick to use USB microphone. But if you have the money to buy an interface, a sound card, please do it, because that will go a long way. I'll be making a video about the recommendations for stuff that you buy. That's the more reason why you need to subscribe. Let's get to the video. Now, once you open your Logic Pro, this is what's going to come out. You'll see an empty project and a live loop section. But since we are doing recording today, we are going to start with an empty project. Now, this part is really easy to understand. For those of you that want to load up VSTs, like an instrument when you are making beats and stuff, this is not a beats tutorial. So the use of this software instrument is if you want to add maybe a keyboard, a synth, a bass, or some other stuff. All right. Then this is the audio side. This is where we are going to be using, and it's the part where you record your audio, which is your vocals and stuff. You have the audio input section. This is paramount to those that use sound cards. Now on your sound card, you are going to see the input 1 and 2 if you use a sound card that has 2 inputs. If you have a sound card that has more than 2 inputs, yep, you can route it to the surround or create a bus around it. But yes, for me, I use the sound card that has 2 inputs, so I'm going to click on input 1 since I'm recording alone. Then we have the audio outputs. This one is for your speakers and the headphones and stuff that you use to listen to the feedback. So what I do is I put it on 1+2, just so it does not give me any problems. And then you can put your input monitoring, you can enable record and ascending and stuff, but I prefer to leave it like this. Depends on the preference, but I prefer to leave it like this. I don't really touch it. Here's the drummer side. This is for those that make beats. You can just add this in case you want to add additional fills and stuff. And we have the external MIDI section. This is not part of our problem today, but once I'm making the how to make a beat in Logic video, I will be showing you. We have the guitar and bass side. It's all part of the pop-up for choose your track type, but let's go to the audio. Now, I need, this is a side where you can click the number of tracks you want to create. For me, I prefer to make just one. So we are going to create one track. Voila, welcome to Logic Pro. Now you have everything all set up. Just because I have my sound card connected, my microphone is going to be showing. And I've fixed my inputs to input 1. So it's going to be monitoring my voice because I'm talking to a mic directly now that I'm making this content. And let me break down some of the features here to make you understand how simple Logic Pro is. Now at the top left corner, there is a place where you can check the about for Logic Pro. You can check your settings, your control surfaces, your key commands, your sound library, and all this other stuff like hide logic and others. But I'd really like to show you what the general side here has. So in this general section, you can set your startup action templates and mess around with stuff like the editing side. These are the in-depths, but based on the first-hand advice and tip, I'm going to be showing you the most important parts in the general setting, but I'll be making an expansive video to show you what the in-depths of this stuff, like the number of undo spaces, the pointer tool, and all this stuff entail. So we go to the audio. Now for this video, I'm using an SSL 2 Plus sound card by Solid State Logic, and it's really a good recommendation. Like, you can use it for your production, but if you have the access to Scarlett 2i2, 2i4, and all the good surface interfaces out there like Apollo, you can still try the same thing. So instead of just leaving it on my system settings or my MacBook Pro speakers, I had to put it on SSL 2 Plus, so it can take the inputs and outputs directly from my sound card. And here for the input device, which an input means a device that takes the sound inside. Now this is what takes all the audio from my microphone inside my door. Then the output is for the speakers, what I use to receive and hear the sounds. And this is where the first thing I do, I make sure that my output device is set to my sound card and my input device is set to my sound card. Which, if you're using a Windows system, you will need to download drivers for each of your sound cards. But if it is a MacBook system, I think most of the sound cards are plug and play, except Apollo Twin, which has a UAD controller and stuff. Then this is a part where like most of you get confused. Like this right here is your library icon. Once you click it, it's going to show you options of sounds and all the stuff you need to add presets, templates, and all the instruments like VSTs for making beats, which obviously some of you that are watching these videos just want to record. So yeah, we're going to skip that. But once you click the library, it's going to show you your guitar, bass, effects, acoustic, and all the voice stuff for making sounds. Then we have this little icon here. This one shows you the regions and the track effects. So in this part of Logic Pro, what you can do is you can check your settings. You can also click on this EQ here. There's a default EQ once you touch this part, but you can still change it if you want. Then in this part, you can add your effects, your dynamics, your EQ, filter, imaging, and all the stuff that come with Logic, because Logic has a variety of inbuilt stuff that you will really love to try out. So you have your arms, pedals, your delay, and all that stuff, which I'll be teaching you in how to mix your songs on a basic level. But since we are doing recording today, I just want to show you the interface and how it works. So here you can add your effects. Here you can add your sends. You have buzzes, unlimited amount of buzzes, as much as you want you can add them, but I'm sure no human will want to have more than 5 or 6 buzzes, because what are you mixing? Are you mixing the whole world? All right, so here you have your output channel. You can set it to mono or stereo, which mono means one-sided and stereo means two-sided. I'll be explaining that in a video that's going to have in-depth explanation on stereo and mono. So it seems everything is good right here. There's this little R that indicates record, and there's M for mute and S for solo. It's same thing here. That's why I love Logic so much. It's really easy to use. Why? Because you can control every stuff from this part. There's a general solo at the top. Don't forget that. And there's also a duplicate button where you can duplicate a channel if you want more channels. For now, I have one track and I can just click on this one to duplicate. But if I want to add a channel that has specific feature, I can touch on this plus sign at the top and it will pop up my choose a track type section, where you can set and customize what you want it to be like, in case you want to add any instruments or you want to do it based on a specific design and style. Then at the top here we have these little icons that signify forward, backward, stop, play, record, and loop. But if you are new to Logic Pro, what our advice is, you can click on this little question mark here. This is called the quick help button. Once you touch it, it will explain everything in depth. Anything I touch is going to show the use of that icon. Like this is the rewind button, and it helps you to move the play head back 1 bar and click and hold to fast rewind. You see, so this is like my helper, the personal helper for Logic. If you are new to Logic, you've never used it before, I will advise you turn on this little guy, the quick help button. So here's the stop button. Let's say I'm recording something and I want to stop it. I can touch this. I can still do that with my space bar, and it's the same for every computer, but mostly I'm sure Logic users are MacBook users, so the commands still remain the same, unless you want to customize it from this part where you have the key commands. You can change your key commands based on what you used before, or if you are a Cubase user or you were an FL user or Ableton, you want to switch, you can do that ASAP. So on this little smart playlist, there's so much you can do. without this playlist, you can't see the place where you arrange the vocals. So it's a really pretty significant part of the whole Logic Pro. Now this is where you arrange the backups, you arrange the verses and everything you need. So to record here, the steps you need to take, apart from checking to see if there is the output, the inputs, if the sound card is in check, you will need to check the BPM of the instrumental. Now I'm going to drag an instrumental from my hard disk just to show you what this is like and how you can record yourself easily. Okay, so I'll find any recent instrumental. Let's see. Okay, let me see this one. All right, I like this one. This is on 98 BPM. Now once I drag this, I can drop it and it will ask me a question. You have added a stereo audio region on a mono track. Now for beats, I prefer the beats to be on stereo so it will sit well, but the vocals can stay on mono. I've seen a lot of people record on stereo and I don't know, I have a very awkward feeling once the vocals are on stereo, but there's always a logical explanation to everything. But I love my vocals on mono, so I'm going to say create new track because I don't want it to interfere with my settings for the vocals. Now here we go. Here you go. This is the beats all loaded up. I'd love to move it upwards, and that's why I love Logic. You can toggle this, you can move it upwards. All right, so here you can double tap and put the BPM, which is 98 BPM, and press the enter. It will just adjust everything to the BPM. So this is an MP3. This is a big bonus. If you are recording with an MP3, there's always a beginning right here that you need to shift a little. That's why I prefer recording on Wave. But since this is like a tutorial for beginners, I really needed to use the MP3 so I can show you how to do it yourself. All right, so we can turn on this metronome. This is like your metronome button. You turn it on to see and feel and hear the count of the beat to see if it's the right BPM. If I mute the beat, you hear a tap like. So now this all set and the beat is sounding great. I would want to record straight. So just for your information, Logic Pro is not really that of a further mathematics. It's really easy to record because there's a shortcut for everything in Logic Pro. And the big good news is you can just click on R to record. After turning this one on, you see this little button right here, the record button. It can be toggled on by pressing R. So let's say, for instance, I want to record something real quick. I can just click on R and here you go. Oh, nah, nah, nah. Yeah, yeah. They call me Hitsound. I need money. I need money. I need something better, better, better. That's easy. That's how easy it is. And you can use this part to adjust your vertical zoom sliders. Then you can use this part to adjust your horizontal zoom sliders. Look, it's really flexible. So let's hear what I recorded by clicking on R. But if you want to do it manually, you can come here and just click on the record button. Oh, nah, nah, nah. Yeah, yeah. They call me Hitsound. Now the voice is really low, and let's say, for instance, I want to reduce the volume of the beat on a basic level. I can just come here on the volume fader and just take it down a little so I can hear myself. Then for this one, instead of increasing the volume from here, you can come to this region inspector. There is a gain here. You can just increase the gain by moving your mouse upwards a little. So here it is. Oh, nah, nah. Yeah, that's sounding great. Yeah, yeah. They call me Hitsound. I need money. All right, so this is in its raw form. This is as raw as it can get. And there's no auto tune, there's nothing on top because I'm just trying to record my vocals. But the big tip here is there are always ways you can approach stuffs of this nature. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'll be going in depth and showing you a lot of diverse ways to go from here. But now, after recording this and you feel you don't like it, you'd want to mute it and do something else, you can click on T. It will pop up this display of options of things you can do. You have the pencil tool, you have the eraser tool, the text tool, the scissors tool, the join tool, solo tool, mute tool, zoom, and so on and so forth. But the major one we'll be using to mute is the mute tool. Once you click on the mute tool, you can touch this and look, it's gone. And if I don't want to delete this one, I can also click on T, go back to my pointer tool, take it downwards, and look, I have a free audio track. Now on this audio track, I can re-record. Let's click on R. Oh, sorry, I'm recording on top. So if you record on top and that's an error, you can press on Command Z to go back. Now why I did that error is because the R here is on this channel, so I might have to just put it here to signify that I'm recording on this new channel. Oh, they call me Hitsound, I have money in my bank. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, give me money, I cannot deny something in my mind. Yo, I'm beginning to enjoy this. I'm sounding like an artist. Give me an applause in the comment if you know what I recorded right now sounds late. Give me some money. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, they call me sound. So I can't really hear this. I might just have to click this and do the same thing. Come to this region inspector and boost the gain a little. Oh, they call me sound. We might have to turn off this metronome because it's interfering with what I'm singing. And this 1 2 3 4 is like a count for you to start, to know when to start. It's this little count before you record. When you turn on R, you say this counts. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Give me money, I cannot. All right. So in case I want to do a backup under, I can come here, add track, and create a channel, and then bring my recording R here, go under and click on my record. Hitsound Records. Oh, they call me Hitsound. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me some money. Oh yeah, yeah. All right. As easy as it is, like, trust me, a lot of you guys will need to rehearse and practice this, and that's why you need to write good music in order not to get caught up in the web. So I've recorded these ones now, and in case I just have the whole beats, I want to record everything. The easiest part of this Logic Pro is that the same process that I used in the intro, I can apply it anywhere. So long the voices are going in and my settings are right in the interface, everything is sorted, everything is solved. But let me just give you a basic advice on what you can do for just the vocals that you've added here. If you know this gain is kind of giving you stress, before I make a video about mixing and mastering, after you subscribed and liked, obviously, I'm going to give you just little stuff that you can touch here. Now, for most of you that will be going off key and having issues with like trying to hear your voice on the right key because it might be going like this, you might just use this inbuilt stock plugin in FL. It's in oh sorry, my bad, I'm an FL user and I also use Logic. In Logic Pro, you can come to this part called pitch correction and add this good guy called pitch color. This is a big tip, it's a bonus, and that's why you should subscribe. All right, so you have pitch color here. To find the key of the beat, since this is a beginner tutorial, I'll just give you a big bonus. You come to you go to a website called tunebats.com, and now in TuneBats you can find the same instrumental, drag it and drop. This analyzes like the key for your stuff and the BPM. All right, now it is on C sharp major. I didn't sing this on the right key, but I'm sure this pitch color is going to just straighten me a little, then I will record and show you the difference. All right, so C sharp major. Let's see how it sounds. I'll turn off. Now the use of the mute is to turn off sounds you don't want. So let's hear the playback. And you can mess around with the response rate here, like just to see the intensity of it. Oh, they call me Hitsound. I have money in my bank. Woo! I sound like Tory Lanez. Stop playing, bro. They call me Hitsound. I have money in my bank. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, give me money, I cannot deny. All right, so you can just add that one just to get a little bit of a pitch correct. You can just mess around with the detune, mess around with the response, and all you need to know is just the key. Get the right key and you are good to go. And to know much about key, you will need to just do a couple research. That's not the point of the video, so I wouldn't be going into that deeply. So once you have that sorted, you can just add a little reverb. Everything I'm using here is the inbuilt ones, so you don't have to do too much. Now for the reverb here, you have chamber, concert, and all that small stuff, but I'll be using the room one here. I'll just reduce the wetness a little just to give it a little body. Oh, they call me Hitsound. I have money in my bank. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, give me money. I can. All right. So just to give it a little body, but we can try the let's try the concert hall and hear how it sounds like. Reverb is like the simulation of space, so let me just turn it up so you hear what it is. All right, then I can turn it down a little. All right, then the last thing I will put here to just give you guys the heads up is this compressor here. Under dynamics, you go to compressor and click on the one on mono, and they call me Hitsound. I have money. So this is going to look like further mathematics, but once you add it, basically you'll be able to record. Now on this compressor here, you don't need to add anything. Don't touch it, but you can just mess around with the makeup and the threshold. Depends on how deep and in-depth you want to understand this stuff, but yep, you can just touch it a little and voila, let's record. Let's continue my song to show you how it feels like to have all this stuff here. Then if you want to duplicate the shortcut, it's Command D. You can record right here. Let's go. I getting money for my account, I no go touch, but you go just the way to, yeah. Money go come. All right, I think I went off there. I getting money for my account, I no go touch, but you go just the way to, yeah. All right, so that's basically it about recording in Logic Pro. Sorry if this pops up by error, you can just take it out by clicking on this. Now if you are definitely confused about what's happening here, I'm sure watching this video again will give you a hint on what to do. So if you are new to this channel, please, to support the channel and give me more highlights, give me more SEO suggestions, make sure you click on the subscribe because a lot is coming. So welcome to Logic Pro. Wish to see you on the pro level because a lot of videos about the in-depth of this Logic Pro is going to be coming on my channel. Give me a thumbs up and drop a comment on what you want me to make a video on next time. I remain Hitsound. Let's go.